Welcome. This is a short video on how to use order of operations to simplify expressions. Most of us know that operations are things like these here, specifically the multiplication symbol, division symbol, addition symbol, or subtraction symbol, or the squaring symbol, or that parentheses sometimes means to multiply or to do something inside them. Okay? When we follow the order of operations, we have to follow them in a specific order. So we have to always do things in parentheses first. And then we simplify any exponents second. And then we're going to do multiplication and division together, any multiplication and division from left to right. So we like to put the little arrow left to right on top of the M and the D. And then we do any addition or subtraction, again, from left to right. Most of us are familiar with the PEMDAS abbreviation, and it's a nice reminder about how to use the order of operations. Let's look at a few examples together. In example 1, it looks like we have 2 subtract -8. The parentheses is around this -8 because we're not allowed to have 2 operations right next to each other. So this just separates that negative away. Plus -2 multiplied by -2. Again, those are also in parentheses to keep that negative separate. So if we're trying to follow PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction, the parentheses that we need to do first is where there's multiplication. These two have no operation in between them. We know that 2 parentheses right next to each other with nothing in between them means to multiply. And that's definitely going to come before this subtraction or this addition. So if we do -2 times -2, well, a negative times a negative, that's going to give me a +4. I still have my plus sign. And now if I look at this little part, well, if I'm subtracting a negative, that means I'm going to add because it's the opposite when you're subtracting a negative. So that actually is going to be 2 plus 8 plus 4. Well, there we just have 2 addition operations left. We're just going to do 2 plus 8, 10 plus 4. Altogether, that's going to be 14. Take a look at how I've written out this second step. I want you to show your work by writing out the in-between steps. If we look here at example 2, I'm just going to push this up so I have some space. It looks a little bit trickier, but it's not going to be totally complicated. It looks like we have -24 divided by 6, and then we have a -1 times a -4. Now I know in PEMDAS it says multiplication before division, but if we remember to write our little arrows on top, that means that we do any multiplication or division, whichever comes first, working from left to right, the way we read. So that means we're going to do this division operation first. -24 divided by 6, -4, plus -1 times -4. Well, that's a +4, and hopefully everyone in your head is saying 0, 0, 0. So there's our answer, 0. Now I'd like you to try a few of these on your own. The first example is 3 minus 6 minus 2 minus a -1. Lots of negatives and subtractions in there. Be careful. The second one is -1/2 parentheses times 5 minus 3 plus 12 minus 13. I'm going to give you about a minute to try these on your own, and then I'll reveal the answers. It's been about 30 seconds. On this one, hopefully you noticed that 2 minus 1, that was going to become a plus, minus a negative 1, excuse me. So that if you look over here, we've just rewritten this as plus 1. And the negative 3 comes from 3 minus 6 becomes negative 3. Negative 3 minus 2 is negative 5, plus 1 is negative 4. If you look at example 4, hopefully you simplified inside the parentheses first. 5 minus 3. That became 2. A number right out in front of a set of parentheses means multiply. Negative 1/2 times 2 is negative 1. Plus 12 minus 13, well, negative 1 plus 12 is positive 11. Minus 13, we're back to negative 2. If you did fine on these, that's great. You're right where you should be. If you had trouble with these, I recommend that you try a few other videos for practice. You can go to the links on our School Fusion page and try the Brightstorm, brightstorm.com, or the Khan Academy. Those are two websites that have lots of instructional videos. Good luck.